didn't do it! I'm innocent! Please, somebody believe me. Don't let them ruin my life.
Marcus Johnson had been driving for the Williams family for 5 years. He loved his job and respected his boss, billionaire Leonard Williams, but he never let anyone cross boundaries, not even their daughter, Tiana. Tiana was beautiful, spoiled, and used to getting her way. From the moment she noticed Marcus, she liked the way he stayed calm and professional. She started finding excuses to be around him, always testing boundaries. Marcus always declined Tiana's advances. "Miss Tiana," he would say, "I can't betray your father's trust. I'm here to work, not anything else." But Tiana enjoyed the chase. It made her want him more. Tiana tried everything, inviting him to parties, sending him expensive gifts, even playful touches. Marcus never responded. Every attempt failed, fueling her anger. That day, she made a decision that would ruin both their lives. A week later, Tiana called the police and accused Marcus of something he never did. She said he crossed a line, something she invented because she was frustrated. Leonard couldn't believe it, but Marcus was arrested before anyone could stop it. Marcus spent months in jail. His reputation was shattered, and no one in town knew the truth. He missed his family and feared he might never drive again. But he didn't give up hope. Meanwhile, Tiana lived freely. She flaunted her wealth, went to parties, and acted as if nothing had happened. But deep down, a small worry lingered. Marcus might one day prove her lies. Marcus hired a private investigator from jail. He gathered messages, witnesses, and even security footage. Every piece of evidence slowly built the truth. Tiana's falsehoods, her repeated flirtations, her manipulations. 2 years passed. Marcus finally walked out of jail a free man, armed with proof of everything. He looked stronger, calmer, and more determined than ever. His heart burned with a desire for justice, but not revenge alone. Tiana had no idea Marcus was planning his comeback. She continued her careless life, trusting her family's money would protect her. But the truth has a way of catching up, even with the richest daughter in Atlanta. Marcus invited Leonard for a private meeting. He calmly laid out all the evidence, the texts, the videos, and witness accounts. Leonard's face turned pale as the truth sunk in. His daughter had destroyed an innocent man's life. Leonard felt betrayed and furious. Tiana was called into the room, expecting her father to defend her. But this time, the power shifted. Marcus's calm authority made her uneasy. He was no longer the man she could intimidate. Marcus presented the proof to the police. Tiana was arrested for knowingly making a false accusation. The tables had turned completely. Her life of luxury couldn't save her from facing the consequences. Marcus finally cleared his name. The community learned the truth, and he regained his reputation. Though the pain of 2 years lost remained, justice had been served, and Marcus could finally live freely again. Tiana learned the hardest lesson of her life. Lies, manipulation, and cruelty have consequences. No amount of money can protect someone from the truth when it finally catches up. Tiana's arrest made headlines. Social media exploded with shock and outrage. People couldn't believe a billionaire's daughter could stoop so low and destroy an innocent man's life for her own selfish desires. Marcus finally returned home. His dog, Bruno, a golden retriever, ran to him, tail wagging. For the first time in 2 years, Marcus felt genuine peace. He was free, and his loyal companion was by his side. Even though Marcus's name was cleared, the memories of jail and betrayal haunted him. He promised himself he would never let greed or lies touch his life again. His heart had been tested, but he had survived. Meanwhile, Tiana faced serious legal consequences. Her lawyer tried to defend her, but the evidence was overwhelming. The truth of her actions could no longer be hidden behind wealth or charm. As Marcus watched the trial unfold, he realized the full extent of Tiana's deception. Every message, every flirtation, every attempt she had made to lure him, it was all documented. And justice was finally about to prevail.
Bruno stayed close to Marcus, sensing the tension in the trial. The dog had been his companion through lonely nights in jail, a silent witness to his suffering. Their bond was unshakable. While Tiana awaited trial in custody, her friends and social circle began to distance themselves. No one wanted to be associated with someone who had knowingly tried to destroy an innocent man's life. Even in jail, the isolation and shame began to weigh heavily on her. Marcus met with Leonard again, this time to discuss restitution. Leonard, hurt and disappointed, promised Marcus his family would make amends. Tiana's actions had shaken their entire household. Marcus decided to rebuild his life slowly. He returned to driving only part-time, now consulting for private clients. The experience had taught him the importance of boundaries, trust, and integrity. Though Marcus was free, he still carried the scars of betrayal. The pain wasn't just in losing 2 years of his life. It was knowing someone he had trusted and served had deliberately tried to ruin him. Tiana's trial became the talk of Atlanta. Everyone wanted to know how a young, wealthy woman could fabricate such a story. Media crews surrounded the courthouse daily, broadcasting her shame to millions. Marcus provided testimony, recounting Tiana's repeated advances. The court listened, shocked at how calculated her actions had been. Every detail painted a picture of a young woman willing to destroy an innocent man for attention. Leonard felt guilty. He had always trusted his daughter, but never imagined she could manipulate the truth so severely. It was a lesson in parenting, trust, and understanding the real character of those closest to you. Marcus didn't just want revenge. He wanted closure. He wanted the world to see that integrity matters, and lies, no matter how powerful the liar, will eventually crumble.
Tiana's trial continued. The evidence against her was overwhelming. Messages, witnesses, and surveillance footage all proved she had orchestrated the false accusation. Each revelation made her world smaller, colder, and darker. Leonard could hardly believe his eyes. His daughter's lies were undeniable, and the truth hurt more than any financial loss. He realized that no amount of love could replace the moral guidance she had failed to receive. Marcus met with his lawyer one last time. The final paperwork was filed, officially clearing his name and ensuring Tiana would face justice. For the first time, Marcus felt completely vindicated.
The courtroom deliberated and Tiana was sentenced. Her father's wealth couldn't shield her from the consequences of her choices. Justice had been served, not just for Marcus, but for every person who had believed in the truth. Marcus felt a mix of relief and sadness. 2 years of injustice had left deep scars, but seeing Tiana face the consequences brought a strange sense of closure. He knew the hardest part was over, but healing would take time. The community slowly began to support Marcus again. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers praised his patience and courage. His reputation, once tarnished, started to shine brighter than before. Inside the courtroom, Tiana realized the full weight of her actions. Each piece of evidence Marcus presented crushed her excuses. Her attempts to charm or manipulate anyone were completely gone. Leonard watched silently, regret filling his heart. He had trusted his daughter blindly, and now he had to accept that love and money couldn't shield her from reality. It was a painful lesson for the whole family. Marcus finally spoke to the media, telling his story without anger. He focused on truth, justice, and resilience. People listened, moved by the calm strength of a man who had suffered unjustly but never gave up. Tiana's cell felt colder than ever. The luxury she had taken for granted no longer mattered. Alone, she faced the consequences of every lie, every manipulation, every attempt to destroy Marcus's life. Marcus started rebuilding his life piece by piece. He reconnected with old friends, found new clients for private driving services, and even began mentoring young men in his community about honesty and perseverance. Despite her situation, Tiana still refused to admit she was wrong. In her heart, she blamed circumstances, not her choices. Marcus understood this. It was part of why he stayed calm and let the law handle her. Marcus's bond with Bruno strengthened further. The dog had been his companion during the darkest days, and now, as freedom returned, Bruno's loyalty reminded him of the importance of love and connection. The trial of Tiana became a national story. Headlines screamed about wealth, lies, and justice. Everyone wanted to know how someone could abuse trust so completely, and the shocking truth inspired caution and conversation.
Marcus began writing about his experience, not for fame, but to warn others about false accusations and the strength it takes to survive them. His story became a symbol of patience, courage, and truth. Tiana's family was in turmoil.
Leonard struggled to reconcile his love for his daughter with the undeniable proof of her actions. Every luxurious room in their mansion now felt like a reminder of betrayal. The media dug deeper into the story, uncovering Tiana's attempts to manipulate Marcus over months. Her lies weren't a single moment, they were a series of deliberate actions, and the public couldn't believe it. Marcus felt a bittersweet victory. Justice had been served, but 2 years of his life could never be returned. He realized healing wasn't just legal, it was emotional, and he had to forgive himself for what he had endured. Inside her cell, Tiana finally began to feel fear. No lawyers, no family, no money could save her now. For the first time, she truly understood that lies have consequences, and the truth cannot be stopped. Marcus spent more time with his family and friends, appreciating the simple things he had once taken for granted. Freedom was no longer just a word, it was a feeling, one he savored deeply every day. Inside jail, Tiana was left to reflect on every decision. Her once cocky demeanor was gone. For the first time, she understood that every lie, every selfish action had a price. Marcus took time to heal emotionally. He reconnected with old hobbies, volunteered in his community, and became a mentor to young men facing challenges. His experience became a beacon of hope for others. Leonard visited Marcus to apologize personally. He admitted his failure to guide Tiana and expressed deep regret for the pain caused. Marcus forgave him, not out of weakness, but because he wanted peace and closure. Tiana, alone in her cell, realized she had lost everything. Friends abandoned her, luxury was meaningless, and her father's love could not undo the harm she caused. She finally understood the depth of her mistakes. Marcus began helping victims of false accusations, sharing his story to prevent others from suffering like he did. His pain became purpose. His tragedy became a lesson for many. Leonard reflected on his parenting. Wealth could provide comfort, but it could not teach morality or respect. He vowed to rebuild trust with those he loved and never ignore character again. Marcus visited Tiana one last time, not with anger, but to show that truth and patience always triumph. She met his gaze, realizing she could no longer manipulate or charm her way out of consequences. Life slowly returned to normal for Marcus. He had his freedom, his reputation, and his loyal dog Bruno. Most importantly, he had learned that integrity, patience, and truth are more valuable than anything money can buy. Tiana's downfall and Marcus's perseverance left a lasting lesson. Lies and selfishness can destroy lives, but honesty, patience, and courage always win in the end. True strength isn't in wealth, it's in integrity. This story shows how lies can destroy lives, but truth will always come to light. Thank you so much for watching this powerful story to the end. If you were moved by Marcus's fight for justice, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that touch the heart.